Alright, we're back. Show you guys the ash before I ash it. Gotta take off the band. And it's pretty delicious, I must say. The pepper went kind of in the back burner. It's there, but in the slightest bit. It's the cocoa came up, so I am tasting some chocolate, some cocoa, some unsweet, just natural cocoa, some dark chocolate. The leather and the wood kind of equal parts. Those are the two flavors at the forefront. I'm definitely getting that coffee, getting that cocoa, so they weren't lying about that. It's pretty, overall, it's pretty damn delicious, I must say. Um, yep, the leather and wood, heavy accents of cocoa and coffee. Tiniest bit of pepper. It definitely went down. It got real weak, the pepper, which again I prefer. You guys know I'm not crazy about pepper, but it's good when it's done right. And here's the band, fully embossed. You can just feel the quality. It's real thick, fully embossed. See the texture on the back. Came off seamlessly, as you can see. Check that out. Perfect construction. Still getting a ton of smoke. Real thick white, stark white smoke. Perfectly room temperature. Not hot at all. Haven't touched it with a lighter. You can see at the start I was a bit over eager, and I didn't light it perfectly, but it righted itself. You know, I kind of made a canoe myself, and it completely fixed itself. Haven't touched it with a lighter, and so far it's very delicious. It's very, very nice. It's super complex. Very complex medium cigar. The smoke is super thick. Get a ton of it. Again, the aroma, the secondhand aroma is fantastic. Really good. I'm very happy so far. Very consistent burn. Good smoke output. Good draw. Nice medium. A little bit on the tight side. Very medium room temperature smoke. Lots of it. Real thick. Get your leather, you get your wood. Around the second third, you start getting your coffee and your cocoa. Real nice. Pepper's definitely gone down. Really nice wrapper, real flush. Real flush. Really, really nice. So all in all, I'm impressed. I like it. One of the better cigars I've had recently. Like it a lot. So far the same. So as you guys all know, there's thousands of cigars out there, and the stuff that makes it to the videos is the 1%, because when I go to the lounges, you know, they all carry thousands of stuff, and there's new stuff, and there's different lounges, different stores, different inventory. There's always something new to try. So I really like I like the full spectrum. So I like the expensive stuff, the harder to get stuff, the stuff that's hyped up, but I also, you know, like most people, want to find the stuff that the cigar, you know, like go on that quest for the holy grail, find that cigar that's has everything for a low price. Because I know there's a lot of you guys that don't have access to a local store. You live in a small town, or you live somewhere where internet sales are more favorable. So, and there's a lot of you too, like me, that we smoke a lot of cigars, and some people have it. I'd say the majority of people have it for an occasional thing or to give away. But if you're hardcore, or you smoke a lot of cigars, you want to find something that's inexpensive you could buy a box or two of and maybe smoke regularly. So I'm going to be making videos of stuff that's not super popular, and I know it's not going to get a ton of views, but for myself and for you guys to find something that's cheap, accessible to all, it's something that you can get online, and that's why I always tell you guys the price, and if they're easy to find or not, because I'm of course going to review the popular stuff, but there's always, I found a lot of good cigars that are real cheap that I can easily, without remorse, buy boxes of. And I think we all like to find that. At the end of the day, the most important thing is it a good steak and is it a good price, because we can't all smoke $30-50 cigars all day. So I'm also on that quest to find really good cheap cigars. Let you guys know about them. But when it comes to the main popular brands, Rocky Patel it's got to be one of my favorites. I don't want to say top 3, top 5, because all those things change and whatever, but consistently over the years, they've never let me down, and the prices are very fair. I always tell myself that when I smoke a Rocky Patel, I'm like, wow, this is really only the $8 or $10. I'm like, wow. Even at full MSRP. And a side note, I'm really happy that San Andres has been around for a while. It's nothing new. The San Andres wrappers, and I'm really happy they have a resurgence recently. That there's a lot of the big brands are reusing it. It's really gotten popular again, so I like that the trend's coming back to that. And this is a perfect example of a really well made, really good, tasty San Andres cigar. Because a lot of people will tell you, the ones who know, the ones who blend themselves, people who own their own companies, and they choose a flavor profile, they do their own blends, and the most important part, the vast majority of the flavor is the wrapper. The wrapper is extremely important. It's not just an aesthetic. And not the most important part, the binder is extremely important just for the construction, for the burn, for the flavor, but the wrapper is very important. And the San Andres is one of my favorites for sure, and I'm really happy that they're real common now. So right now I'm looking for a really good San Andres, and I think I found it so far. This is for sure, of all the newer San Andres stuff, my favorite so far. This is one of those cigars you told me if you'd taken the band off and you given it to me the first time, you told me, oh, this is a $30 cigar, I'd believe you. This is really good. So again, it goes for around $8 MSRP. I saw boxes online for $100 or less, that's really good. Sounds like a lot, but for the ones that know, that's a very fair price. And that binder's amazing. That coffee's kicked up a lot. Getting the coffee, getting the leather, getting the wood, and the aroma, you get a really delicious earthy wood, real nice, like a wet wood, really good. The second hand is superb. I love the draw. It's just the slightest bit tight, but you get a ton of smoke and it's real thick. Really nice aftertaste. It's just you get all the flavors and they're still there. They linger. So far the second third is fantastic. First third was excellent, but the second third is definitely, the coffee and the cocoa kicked up, the leather and the wood are still there, the pepper died down. Superb. Real complex cigar. Excellent draw. Yeah, that's, oof, I'm just gonna keep repeating myself. The aroma is fantastic. Wow. Not much more I can say. It's really good. And again, so the video is not 5 hours long, and because I don't edit, it's nothing scripted. I say it, everything is winging it, you could say. So, and so I'll let you guys know how the nub was. I smoked them to the nub because there's a lot of you guys out there that smoke them to the nub. I personally do as well, for the most part. And if anything changes, or if it's smokable to the nub, some get really hot, some don't. So let you guys know in the description there. So far, so good. Real good. So again, hopefully you guys let me know what you guys want to see, because if not, it's just whatever's at hand, whatever's the most ready to smoke at the moment. A good mix of the really popular stuff and the stuff that's kind of harder to find, the cheaper stuff, the premium stuff, and everything in between. So if there's something you guys want to know about, let me know. Delicious thick smoke. So if there have any specific questions or something, I'll try to make videos of it instead of just answering it. I'll try to make a whole video on it if it's worth a video. And the requests, very important, because if not, it's just for the most part whatever I have at hand. And that's why I tell you guys, my humidity of what I had it in, for how long. Because it does change. It does change the cigar. Some people they love their cigars. A vast majority of people go to the lounges. There's millions of types of cigar smokers. There's the ones who only smoke at the lounge. They go once a week, maybe a couple times a month, a couple times a week. And you ask around, and they don't even have humidors at home. They don't buy boxes. They just smoke 2-3 cigars at the lounge, or they smoke one cigar a month, or they buy one box and they smoke the same cigar. So it does change. Like if you only smoke the cigar at the lounge, sometimes it's not very fair, because either they just got it or it's wrapped in plastic, and that can be harder to maintain a good humidity. Sometimes you see a lot of times the cigars will be dried out, or you'll see it's been in the wrapper in the plastic wrapper for so long. You'll see the wrapper got brown and the cigar's all dried up. So the best thing to do is to bring it home, take it out of the wrapper, keep it for reference so you can see the size and all that stuff if it doesn't say it on the band, and let it acclimate in your own humidor, because everybody has their own preference. Some people like it in the 60s, high 60s, low 70s. Some people like it in 75, and that's perfectly fine. That's why I let you guys know if what I had my specs at on my own humidors, and which one they came out of, and for how long they were there, because it does change the experience. Some people like their cigars more humidified, some like them a bit drier, and it does make a difference. So, but definitely, if I have some rules, like I always, for myself, and I tell people, like, try to always give the cigar 2 chances. 1 is not fair. 2, try it. I mean, different vitola, the size, the vitola, the gauge is what makes a big difference, because for the most part, cigars will usually be like the whole line will be in the same gauge, just the length, it just changes the smoke time. But some cigars you'll see they'll have it in 48, then they'll have the same cigar in 54, and that changes definitely, because now you're getting way more filler. And so I usually prefer the more classic thinner gauges. Like the traditional stuff is in traditional cigars 50, traditional Cuban cigars 50 is big. That's a bigger gauge. Your average is 46, 48, and it does change the profile of the flavors. But doesn't mean there's a lot of great cigars that are thick gauge. But when it comes to bang for your buck, the size is not relevant at all. Don't think because you're getting a better value because the gauge is huge. The most important thing is, if anything, the length is more important, because the gauge, all you're doing is changing the profiles. You're gonna get more of the filler, and the size is what should give you, like a Salomon, a much bigger, thicker, tapered cigar, is naturally gonna be more expensive than a Robusto. But yeah, don't think that just a huge gauge, just pick that out. Some people like that. People like the big gauge. I like it too, but just keep in mind that it changes the profile. So if you don't like it in the thick gauge, maybe try it in the thinner gauge, or vice versa. And try to bring it home to give it a real chance. And if you don't like the first one, like I've had cigars, I love the first one, don't like the second, and vice versa. I didn't like it at first, I tried it again, and it happened to be a delicious cigar. Delicious blend, almost like a 50-50 of the wood and the leather. It's really good, but each one is distinct. And So far so good. I mean, really good, real complex, real medium bodied, almost no nicotine kick, and I think I'll highly recommend it. I like it a lot. Really good textbook San Andres wrapped cigar. Really good, real complex, great profile. All the flavors are there. Easy to pick up. A pepper died down. Really consistently good draw and burn. But I'll end it here so the video's not too long, and I'll let you guys know how the nub was in the description. Alright guys, thank you.